Howdy, folks. This is DU Novice. Just getting back into the swing of things here now that I've got my technical difficulties fixed. I'm in a ship here that Kaveen built, and I'm using this to do multiple things. I use it to pick up ore. It's a 20 container ship. It's got antigrav. And it's got, of course, you can see several engines. They're just basic space and basic Atmo engines as of right now. These may get swapped out sometime in the future, but this is more than sufficient for my needs. Just came from Thades and Mattis. I'm trying to say them both together. When I went there, I picked up chromite and malachite because our factory is actually, I think it's out of chromite right now. But we were running low. I need to go get it. And while I got it, I went ahead and pulled some packages and ran. I've got some alts on here, but I was only able to get a few packages, so I didn't actually make that much money. This character has hardly any. You know, I do have a few packages that I can drop off here. Nothing big. I've got one large stuff packages, and I think I have one very large in the other container, but it's with another alt that's on the ship. And so I'm just moving into the planet here, and been doing a lot of stuff. Been hitting some asteroids, been charging miners, been doing some industry on Tioma and setting up all the infrastructure on Tioma. Just did a video on that, and you probably will see where I've got some industry stood up out there building containers and things, and have all the miners set out on the Natron, and about over half of the pedalite miners are set out. I've got to bring some more next trip. I didn't want to buy any more advanced miners until I made some more money. Now that I've got the ship, I can run some more missions and do that. But I'm not the only one doing this. There are other primary members that are helping out too. When we get to the base later on, I'll make a separate video and talk to you about what's going on there. There's a lot of construction going on. The ship showroom's being built and stuff like that. So kind of exciting seeing how all that stuff's going to come out. I have a little carrier that Kaveen also built with some small spaceships on it, space only ships on top of it. And I took it out the other day and went to an asteroid, checked it out. It works fine, and I can park it in the safe zone and then take the smaller cheap spaceships out just to the asteroid, and one of them is a fighter and two are just cargo. So you can stand off and jetpack in, which the PvPers call cheating, and I just call it being smart. They call it cheating because they can't shoot at you and kill you, but wah. A lot of people don't want to PvP in this game. Some do. I have a PvP ship, you know, but that's not my primary goal. My primary goal is to get this help support. Use our organization to help support Chimera and get it going, and it's going to be hopefully self-sufficient within the next 2 to 4 weeks. We're going to have dispensers out and be able to sell stuff to members and non-members both. So it's going to be a pretty interesting situation. It'll be a lot of fun, I think, getting all that set up and seeing the organization grow and become self-sufficient and not have to rely on our organization 100% for everything. So let's see here. Slowing down. You got to be real careful with ArchHUD. ArchHUD can crash you into the planet if you're not careful. Right now I'm going over the planet, so it's not going to crash me, but sometimes it will actually run you into the planet and crash you. So sometimes instead of selecting a location that's on the planet, like your package drop-off point, select the Alioth location. I waited until I was close and selected my package drop-off point, which is right down there. And I could let this thing land, but I think it takes a little bit longer to let it land, so I'm just going to let it get to a good part here, and then I'm going to... I'm going to go ahead and stop this thing and take this out of control of the ArchHUD. And now we're coming back in. Not good. because we were in a bad location. We had our brake on, thank God. But we were real close to dropping in the atmosphere, so this doesn't happen that often to me, so I don't know what's going on. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not good. Alright, slowing down, slowing down. Alright, so we're going at a safe speed now. We should be alright. Holy cow, how did we live through that? Did I lose anything? I don't see any damage. I don't know how that worked. Well, this thing's got good wings on it, and it's not loaded very heavy at all. It's a 20 container ship, and I have only 2 packages and maybe a couple hundred kiloliters of ore in it, so not that much weight for a ship like this. This thing can carry I think Kaveen has one just like it, and he was carrying 7 very large and 7 large packages at one time out of Alioth. Of course, he had the ride the AGG drive up into space in order to do that, but it worked for him. Can't believe we lived through that without losing our ship. That would have been really bad. So disconnecting while you're in proximity to the atmosphere. We actually came into the atmosphere while we were disconnected, so not good at all. We were able to get right back in. If I'd had like a power outage or something, we would have been toast. We would have had to come back in and repair our ship, drive our pocket rocket over and fix it. So, because we would have been dead. Well, maybe not. Since we got disconnected, we weren't in the seat. So I'm slowing down a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and hit Alt-4. Okay, I don't understand why that's doing that. I'm not hitting Alt-F4, just so you know. Alt-4 is supposed to be my autopilot, so I can't use autopilot right now, I guess. I'm not sure we're going to survive this one without a crash. This thing has good wings, though, maybe. Oh, can't believe it. We're still coasting forward. Look at that. Wings, 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 and brakes. And more brakes and more wings. And more wings and more brakes. That's all I can say about good ships. So, the wings on this one are hidden. You can see kind of they're hidden in this angled back end here. He's done a real good job with them. So still got Taco built in the 40 container ship as well. I don't know if I can in good conscience take that ship and use it, because this one is more than what I need too. So I am good with someone else that can run a lot more packages than I can taking that ship. Maybe multiple people can put their characters on that ship and run a whole bunch of packages, and we can make a lot of money running missions. So where am I going right now? I'm going to the drop-off point. If you look at, I'm going to hit Alt-6. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect me. Alt-6 to hold altitude in Arch HUD. And I'm just going to fly in here to the, slow down here just a little bit. So maintaining altitude at 1718. I'm flying into my package drop-off location, which is here, Market 12. And I'm going to collect 900K as a reward for this package. And this is what I do when I go pick up ore. I try to make gas money by doing some packages on the way there and on the way back. So I don't very often go just run missions by themselves, because I'm always busy getting ore, setting up miners on new locations or what have you, or charging miners, or running out to asteroids to try to get ore that we can't get any other way. So it's very diverse. It breaks things up. I'm not always doing the same thing. I enjoy trying to help out the org and set things up. So myself and a lot of members are working on that. So good stuff. I like this ship. I like the fact that it's got an AGG in it, so I'm actually going to hover right above the target when I get here. I'm going to go ahead and throttle down here, and I'm going to hit G right now when I'm within 2 kilometers of it. This thing stops pretty fast, and it's going to settle down to, I've got the AGG set at 1,000 meters, the default settings. So I don't ever get out of the seat until this thing settles. So it should float at right at 1,000 plus maybe a few meters. Sometimes it bounces, though. You wanna kind of let it settle. See, it's bouncing back up a little. You don't want to get out of the seat until it's really, really set. Alright folks, I just hit, got to go to my next drop-off location for packages. I just put in a temp location for that drop-off point by hitting, going to the Lewis grip and hitting slash, forward slash, and then control V to paste my coordinates in and hitting enter. And then once I brought up the interplanetary helper on the right bottom over there to the 0 temp location I just loaded in, I hit Alt 44. Alt 44, if you look up in the top left, is going to take and put me into orbit to the planet, right? So if you hit Alt 4, it's just going to autopilot there at whatever altitude you're at, probably, or sometimes it'll raise your altitude a little. Usually I like to get up to the altitude I want and then turn it on. But if you hit Alt 44, it will actually orbit to the IPH, the Interplanetary Helper target. And that's not the only way to get to it. You know, there's more than one way to get there. So I'm actually still proceeding on to the point here. It's actually going to take me up to 8,400 meters. Get me outside the atmosphere because we've got 1.12 SU to go, so it'll take a little while to get there. Space engines are kicking on at 9% now. They're a little slow. They take a few seconds. There we go. Sometimes they actually kick in before the graphic kicks in. I don't understand why, but that's the case. So now we're moving even better here. I know it's kind of eerie with no sound, but that's just how it is. I'll cut out the middle of this trip, but I wanted you to see the autopilot in work here, going from place to place on a planet. And the speed it orbits around the planet will change. Like when I was at Tioma, it would orbit at 1,800. When I was on Thades, it was orbiting at like 1,200, so slower. And when I'm here, it usually orbits over 3,000. So we will continue to move here and see what happens. Speed is slowly building up. Not exactly sure why it's not going faster than this. I think there's something off here. Usually it does go faster. I think the server's having some difficulties or something because the ship is acting very strange. Now it's actually speeding up significantly. There we go. Don't understand why that was happening. I don't have a heavy load on here. It's actually very light for this ship. So guess we'll continue to go here. I actually have one package on here that I forgot to drop off at one of the planets, so I'm going to carry it for another day or two, and then I'll head back out and go drop that off. So bad on me. I'll take care of that at some other point. Sometimes you lose track of what you're doing. Worst case scenario is I lose my deposit, but I won't. I'll get it delivered before the time's up. So that package is in another container somewhere. There's two container hubs on the ship. This is only one of them. Because there's 20 containers and you can only hook 10 to a container hub, so of course you got 2. So I'm going to cut out the middle of this trip so you guys don't have to watch me orbit the planet. But if you look at the speed we're looking at now, we're running at about 3,800, 3,900 kilometers per hour. And that's why that's the speed it's gonna stay at. And what it's doing is it's going up and down. And I'll turn this V, I'll hit V and turn that off so you don't have to see all those boundaries coming through. But it's actually going to run me around the planet quite a lot faster than I could actually go in atmosphere. Because in an atmosphere, I'm limited to under 1,200. Well, depends on your ship and talent. You can actually get it higher than that, but not much. So this is the way I like to travel from place to place. If it's over, 80 kilometers, 50 kilometers even. If it's 50 kilometers, I'll probably just fly in Atmo. If it's over 50, I start deciding whether or not I'm going to let the autopilot just take me out of atmosphere and then orbit around the planet like the ship is doing now. So, and it's trying to keep my orientation. It's trying to keep me at 8.4 kilometers high, so 8,400 meters. And it's doing a pretty good job. It's kind of going over. Then it points me down and it goes back down under and kind of overcompensates and undercompensates. It's not perfect, but it works pretty good. See, now I'm going down 86, 85, 84. Now it's trying to go back up and compensating again. So now I'm down to 8,000, 7,900. So it's kind of a little different way to travel, but it's a heck of a lot faster. See, we've already come half an SU pretty much, because we were at almost 1.2 SU when we started. So definitely making some progress. We'll get here and we'll drop this package off, and I'll end this video and gonna make another one of Chimera headquarters here pretty soon. Alright folks, we're getting pretty close to the target here. We're under 40 kilometers. Started out at 1.2 SU or 1.19, something like that. So pretty close to it. Now we're beginning our re-entry. Again, the autopilot's doing this itself. I'm not using any of the controls myself. It's doing it all. And let's see what happens here. It's gonna try to bring me straight down to the target. Now sometimes, especially if you're loaded heavy, it'll actually miss the target and it'll fly past it and it'll have to turn around and come back at it. So don't be alarmed if that happens. I typically take control in those situations. But if you're loaded heavy especially, I don't trust the autopilot. If you're loaded fairly lightly or normally and your ship can handle it, then the autopilot's going to usually do okay. But I kind of tend to watch it when we're doing re-entries and when we're doing approaches to stuff, because I have had it crash me before. So, and again, I've got my AGG on this ship, so the anti-gravity generator will keep me. It's if you look at the right over there, it's set for the base altitude of 1,000 meters. That's the lowest you could go. That puts me within my package drop-off distance of 2 kilometers. Right, that's 1 kilometer. There's already a ship hovering above the drop-off point here, so I kind of have to be careful because I could actually hit that ship. That might be Kaveen in the ship, just like this one. Don't know if we're going to have a problem here. I think I need to... There we go. Move over just a little bit. Oh shoot, I'm still going to hit it. That's not good. Okay. So that's not Kavin's ship, it's some other ship. Alright, so I'm going to move forward just a little to get away from it. Then I'm going to stop. Alright, so that's the thing about targets. Now what would be smart for me to do would be to come to this spot, find a place that's within, you know, a kilometer, if 2 kilometers if I'm up a kilometer, so maybe out here, here, somewhere, and actually create a waypoint or bookmark so that I can have a position that's not directly above the target that they give me. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this package off. I'll get 950K for it. Boom. And now I have that money added to some packages I dropped off yesterday. So got a couple million in there, and I'll go put that in the org funds and we'll be good to go. So I'm actually going to fly to the org now, which I do have bookmarked. Oh, not bookmarked. Well, that sucks. Well, let's go ahead and just pick the org here, and let's go in and see what they're. Let's go in and see if we can see what they're doing. There's supposed to be some really cool stuff being built. Now I don't want to hit this shit, so I'm going to. It's a horizon. Go ahead and point this up a little, get around this ship, and then we'll turn. Don't want to hit it. The ship that's going faster takes the damage, so even if I'm only going a little bit and he's sitting still, I'm going to take all the damage. So don't want to bump ships if you can help it. So this is not that far, only 34 kilometers to get to the base here. I'm doing this by eyeball, so I may get this wrong. So the ship showroom is going to be a pyramid, and it's going to be, well, that's part of it anyway. That's not all of it, but the part that's being built right now is going to be a pyramid. And that's what's being built over here to my right. And it's going to be 9 cores, 9 large cores big. As you can see, there's 9 large cores there, and he's just got the frame up. So there's my carrier right there in front of us that Kavin built me. Awesome job. And I'm going to have to take off here again and try to get landed better. Oh, come on. There we go. That'll work. We'll just land right there, haphazardly. This is the ship that Kevin built for me. If you go down the elevator, then here's the AGG and the fuel tanks, and there's all those stacked wings back there. I've got a VR node in here. You can go out this door. You know, it's got a little ramp that goes down if you engage it. But I'm going to go up to the top and show you that I put in an extra elevator up. There's the res node. Put an extra elevator up to the top because I like the elevators to get up to the top. But this is what she looks like. Of course, you saw me as I was flying. Here is the carrier he built. This is pretty interesting because he built it so you can land these things here. It's just got little skid spots for them, and I color coded them. You know, I wanted the ships to you know, look kind of the same, but I didn't want them to be exactly the same. And I like having, when you're in space, if you park the ship and come back to it, I like being able to find the cockpit. You can do that if you put Lobiglass in proximity of the cockpit, so I did that. I did also put some Lobiglass in the back just for a visual when I'm coming in. And also, I've got this strip down the middle so I can know which one goes where, because I'm a little bit OCD like that. And then this is just a little thrown together fighter that I put on here. This is kind of a cheap fighter. I've got one seat with arch head in it so I can fly out to the asteroid and get on target for the asteroid. And then I've got just the regular basic seat in here that I use to fight with right now, because I don't have any good Lewis script to work for fighting yet. This is the pyramid that's going up right now. It is going to be absolutely immense. This whole thing is going to cover 9 cores, and it's going to be let's look at this. So it's going to be a pyramid going up and a pyramid going down too. So it's going to be kind of a weird shape. But this is going to be part of our ship showroom. Just these 9 cores is going to be part of our ship showroom. We're going to have a lot of other stuff going on. A lot of other work's been being done on the buildings here. I know Sensei's been working on a lot of stuff. It's pretty interesting, this stuff that's been built here. Not just the center building and all and the factory, but some of the other stuff. This is a fighter I bought at the UEF store, and I kind of modified it to my design. Notice I put colors by the hatches so you can find them in the dark of space. This is the gas station that got put in. This is Knight's nozzle. And this is all by Sensei. He did all the work on this. This is pretty fantastic. The pyramid that's going up over there is Kaveen. The factory here is Commander Taco. Somebody else has got a fighter here too. Who's this one? Oh, this is Sensei. He's got a fighter with some precision cannon. But I want to show you guys how this is going to be set up. So we're going to have some dispensers here for the general public, whereas the normal price of goods, we're going to have tier 4 scrap, warp cells at some point. It'll be a while. Rocket fuel, space fuel, Atmo fuel, and we're right here by Market 6. And then there's our garage, right? And then back here we're going to have, for members, for Chimera members, we're going to have a little bit better price on stuff. I stress that when you buy stuff here at the Chimera member price, if you buy it and go sell it on the market, you are violating our intent. Our intent is to help the members, not to sell stuff at a lot cheaper price so that you can go sell it to someone else, right? I know that's something that a lot of you may want to consider, but why can't I open the door? Oh, there it goes. But don't buy stuff at Chimera member prices and sell it, because if you do, and we find out about it, and we usually do, we found out about it in the past, we'll just kick you out of the org, because that's not what we want you to do. We're not subsidizing the cost on this stuff so that you can sell it, and buy it all and sell it. We're doing that so that members can have space fuel cheaper, or warp cells cheaper, or scraps cheaper. That's all we're doing. So these are our cell boxes for schematics. Basically, you come up here, you put your stuff inside here, right? And I can't look inside here with this particular character, but you drop your in this case, tier 4 product material schematics in here, right? Drop them inside here. It puts your name up here and what kind of schematic it is. And then when we need it, we'll come over here and we'll buy it from you. And it already has the price set in here automatically based upon what kind of schematic you put in here. And it's all calculated with this fancy-dancy thing right here. And oh, ha, ha, ha. 0 days since ammo's last crash, brought to you by the Alioth OSHA Flight Safety. So that has to be Kaveen, because he's the OSHA guy. So that's probably him. Anyway, if you want to know what schematics we need, well, look for something in red. If it's the right number is what we're kind of using and what we typically need, And then the left number is what we have. So if you find something in red on this, starting at the top, and then the stuff at the top up here, the stuff that's in green is usually pretty good, but the stuff at the top is what we need the most. So right now we would need tier 1 products, tier 3 products, tier 2 products, tier 3 pures. But, you know, we could use some other stuff too. Atmo fuel, yeah. Space fuel, we always need fuel schematics. But basically, you just make them. You can VR over here as long as you haven't retrieved them. Like this. So if I was to VR over here from anywhere else, if I don't retrieve these, I can VR over here, retrieve them, and then go ahead and put them in the container. Now don't retrieve them until you make sure there's an empty container. Right now there's 2 empty containers, but if there's not any empty containers, don't retrieve them. You might lose them, I'm not sure. So just be careful about that. We do have, if you don't want to sell stuff to us, if you want to give stuff to us, there is a donation bin in here that we have set out. I've taken a lot of the stuff out of it, so don't be surprised that you see some broken parts and stuff in here. There's actually some extra ore in here that's just laying there. But there's stuff that's been donated to us. We've got some mining units. We've got some territory units. We've got some engines. A lot of broken parts. Gee, thanks everybody for the broken parts. We appreciate you. But that's stuff we got out of here. This is actually the donation bin. But I usually put them in that other container after a while. We got some good voxel and stuff in here. We got some pures. Pures was always good to have for the factory, you know. And we got some ore in here, which I need to pull out. And we'll have to unclaim it. Unclaim. And unclaim. And unclaim. So they'll get a notification that somebody stole their stuff. But they just donated it to us, so they should expect that to happen. So I'm just going to grab that out of there, and I'll grab this ore out of here. And we'll go drop off, show you the factory. The factory is coming along pretty nicely, actually. We're up to the tier 4 machines. Working pretty good. Starting to add more stuff here, more and more stuff. This is our ore management system. This is let's call it a proprietary system. We're not able to give this out right now because this is something that's being managed differently. So I'm just putting all this ore in here where it goes real quick. Get all of it put away. As you can see, we're actually really doing pretty good on don't even have enough room for all the coal. We're gonna have to put some of that somewhere else. So we were almost out of malachite. I don't have a whole lot, but that puts us up a little bit better. Limestone we're getting low on. I'll have to go pick that up today. Natron I just brought back over 50 kiloliters, and we've gone through half of it in a day. So yeah. Definitely we're out of chromite. Now we're doing good on chromite. That should start up some machines. I brought back some petalite. Probably have to go get garnerite and pyrite here sometime soon. Acanthite we're doing okay on. We've got our miners set up here on Alioth, and we've got miners on Jago, or actually tiles on Jago we don't even have miners on. We got 2 whole blooms there. Gold nuggets I brought back from an asteroid. That's what we're using to make the gold scrap. I say I brought back, Kaveen brought back some too. So I think we both brought back around, 20, 30 each. We've gone through some of that making scrap. Some of the tier 5s we don't have, just what we've pulled off of asteroids a little bit here and there. I'll go out and get more. We do have cryolite and cobaltite tiles, but we don't have any tier 4 miners yet, so we haven't worried about those. Or not to the point where we got to worry about them too much. Lot of stuff going on here. Got some production going on. This is a lot of the stuff that we're going to be selling. right now this is factory units to get us up and running, but we're going to be selling screens and hubs and containers and tier 4 scrap and all of the stuff, Atmo engines, space engines, right? So we're actually trying to stand up large military Atmos and uncommon uncommon maneuvers, and we have some cores that we're not really building yet. These are for our own use right at the moment, but we'll get to that eventually. We're going to have adjusters that we're selling, not just large, but Atmo brakes. Right now we're making what we're using, which is the large. But we're going to be selling all this stuff through our dispensers to members and non-members as well. We're going to have some voxel and stuff if people want some. We've got some Lumiglass that we make. I don't know if we're going to sell that or not. Well, that remains to be seen. So, of course, we got our fuel. We keep a pretty large supply of fuel here. Nitron's way up there, and our space fuel is, it's a little low, but it'll get back up there. And then we're going to fill up all the stuff with more stuff, and all the dispensers are going to be probably inside this center building for now. That kind of remains to be seen. We're not exactly sure where all the dispensers are going to go, but it's kind of exciting times here at Chimera because we're starting to get the organization up and running. Some people have criticized us and said, yeah, other people are already out at the asteroids finding them right away and having the org out there mining them and blah, blah, blah. And okay, well, go join that organization. That's not what we're doing. We're standing up factory to build stuff to sell to the members. We're standing up, we're going to have lockers for the members to be able to store or swap stuff with each other. We're going to have a ship showroom here, and that's our thing. And then every once in a while we might run out and do some asteroid stuff individually or as organizations, but that's not our primary focus right now. So if you want to do stuff like that, go join that org. If you want to hang around with us and drop in the Discord and listen to some banter and stupidity go back and forth and maybe some colorful language every once in a while, it's not rated G, I promise you. Come on in. Several of us are more mature. I know I'm in my 50s. Some of us are young. We've got a pretty eclectic mix, and we all get along pretty well. So looking forward to seeing some of you around. Looking forward to this whole thing becoming much bigger than it is now, much grander than it is now. Again, we're on 9 cores right here, and then a new 9-core section is being built, and that's hardly taking any of this space up. We're planning on paving this from corner to corner of these 3 tiles. And when we get done, there's going to be, I don't know how many large cores here. There is a plan out there, but I don't remember the total number of cores that we were looking at. It was a lot, let me just say that. So it's pretty interesting. If you fly over here right now, beware of the construction of the pyramid, because that little voxel set out there, the little thin stuff in these corners here, you don't see them until you get right up on them, and that's an easy way to crash your ship. So just be careful. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it, and I hope you guys have a good time. And next time I'll try to take you through the factory a little bit more. We'll look at some of the storage and some of the other stuff over there. So have a great day, and enjoy the game.